Yes, greetings family. This is Bomani Taemba and Kofi Bruce.
What's up?
Here for another episode, and we're here to get into it, talking about interracial relationship and relationships in general. Black women versus white women. And our brother Kofi Bruce is going to set it off, and he's going to talk about how much he loves white women.
Excuse me for eating some seeds, but he caught me off guard with that one. Can you reframe the question? I don't know how to respond to that.
Yes, family, we're here to talk about interracial relationships.
Interracial
Black women
relationships.
versus white women.
Mm-hmm.
And here to talk about how much you love women.
Oh, I love women. I come from a woman, so I have no choice, you know. If I give respect to my life, just giving respect to your own life, you have to give respect to a woman, because it's a woman that gave birth to you.
Absolutely, and for those homos, you know, just because we talk about we love women, we're not trying to offend you. It's crazy because people take offense to, you know, a black man saying that he loved black women.
I mean, as far as that goes, to me, that's a whole nother video. That's a separate video.
Oh, family.
Yeah, we just gonna discuss interracial relationships, in particular, black woman versus white woman, because we see a lot, probably over, I say the past 100 years, where it started, you know, probably even before that, but where it started out in the open as far as like black men seeking out white women. You know, and I think as far as black women seeking out black men, I think that probably started around in the 1970s, like on a higher basis than it was any previous other time. Like after the civil rights movement and integration, you had more and more black women seeking out white men for whatever reason they felt was right. But as far as black men seeking out white women, that goes back one case that's out in the open and in the media that can be documented is Jack Johnson, the boxer. How he purposely sought out white women to showboat on his arm. And, you know, I seen like a lot of documentaries and everything and try and get into his mind state of exactly what he was doing and what he felt about that relationship and what he thought about other people thought about it. And a lot of it, from the information that I read about, it boils down to, you know, it's like a complicated issue, but it boils down to him believing the, you know, age-old white tale that white is better than black. So that's what I got out of that one thing. As far as black men seeking out white women, that was like, you know, one thing that in history that we can go back and study and try and understand this thing, because nowadays, a lot of people, they will excuse everything that happened in the past and say we are here in today and white and black is just one. You know, it should be no separation between the two, because that's what they were taught. But you're taught that by an European edge, because you're taught to forget your own history. Just forget it. And let's start from this point here. But they never forget their history. So I think even when we start to study as far as like black-female relationships and black-white relationships, we need to understand what exactly is going on here in America and how it progressed to where it is now. Yeah,
Absolutely, family. It's touching, and as my brother talked about Jack Johnson, and I'm linking that with other athletes, where, you know, it's kind of this mentality that goes around where, you know, where in some case or some sense, I mean, I'm trying to get an understanding of it, that you have to have something other than a black woman with you to profile in the world. Is it that they're trying to get access to the something white, the white audience, trying to get white people to accept them? Why do athletes, just as an example, not trying to single anybody out, just an example, why do you see some, because, you know, we see that across all professions and all base of everything, you know, even in music, you know, we see the interracial energy. Right. You know, what is the standpoint, especially from black people who have had an incredible black fan base, and
right,
especially from, you know, for black men who sisters just love, and then next thing you know, they turn around, they see a brother with a white woman, and it like throws them off. Just like when I turn around, I see that black devil Serena Williams with this white bastard. You know what I'm saying? It throws you off. You know, it's like what message are we sending to our children, our future? It's okay for me just to be successful and then just turn over my wealth and everything and connect and try to just to open myself, trying to be acceptable by a white family.
Right. I think it all starts and stops through one thing. Like, it has a whole bunch of layers, but we have to go to the source first in order to start breaking everything else down. It all goes back to culture. It all goes back to culture. When you are not operating within your own culture, you're not operating within your own thoughts and your own practices and what you think. You're operating in someone else's culture and thoughts and what they think. And unfortunately, here in America, we're operating through the European mind state on all aspects of our lives, including relationships. So a lot of the black athletes, so-called athletes, you know, they turn towards white women is because that's what they're taught. They are taught that constantly, is bombarded in the head that this is the trophy that you must have in order for you to be seen as mated. Because we are so miseducated in society, through commercials, through television, through church, through, you know, through religion, through all aspects of our lives, that white is right and black is bad. And we don't realize the effect that it's having on our mind, because within all that, they teach us to just ignore that. You know, don't think about that. Don't worry about that. Just listen to what we're telling you. Like, we don't think for ourselves. So a lot of the athletes, you know, they're just caught up in the limelight, the Hollywood paradox, and they seek a white female because she's like a trophy. But at the same time, the white female is actually seeking the black male athlete. But on her mind, it's all about the betterment of her race and her prosperity in life. Let me get the words right. You know, she see a black man that she could easily manipulate for his money.
Right.
For his money. Whether she say she falls in love with him or not, when she first look at this man, she's looking at him with dollar signs on her eyes. Because we know if it was the same man working at McDonald's, she would not even give him a second thought. She looking at all the fame and the media attention and the hype that's surrounding this black athlete, so she want to jump on him. And nowadays it goes back even to like at the high school level. You know, you have certain Caucasian females that see the black athlete and they already formulate a plan in their head. And the black male is not even thinking that. You know, sometimes in high school, he still may have a little ways to go before that total indoctrination set in, or is already placed in at the Pop Warner level. Because we always see so many athletes with non-black wives. Even though it's more with black wives as far as black athletes than it is with white wives. But
pointed out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we always constantly bombarded with the ones with the white wives. So eventually that's going to place something in someone's head, whether it be positive or negative, because, you know, everybody take information differently. So we just got to look at the fact that there's actually media out there actually trying to program in what we should think. Whether we fall for it or not, whether our brother and sister fall for it, we should be aware of that and try and understand the impact that it's having on our lives. And it's affecting us as far as relationships go. So it's not how we act towards that whole situation is not even our nature. You know, we acting outside our nature, because our whole nature and the nature of everything is to preserve itself, not to preserve something else. It's to preserve itself. That's this nature. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Only certain limited mind people put out the information that is something wrong with following your own nature. That you're supposed to follow one nature and one nature only, whether it's your own or not. It's the dominating nature. But everything follows its own path. Everything in nature follows its own nature to bloom and be what they were put here on earth. Everything does that except people. I don't know if I got off the subject, but what you think?
Yes, family, I hope my brother didn't lose you. But we're here talking about interracial relationships.
Yeah.
Black woman versus white woman. and people might say, how is that interracial relationships? You know, because many point of what we're talking about, it deals with black men with white women and black women with white men. You know, we talk about we just gave some examples, but we talk about when we're out there working and we're building a future, and then somehow we overshadow all of the beautiful sisters, and we go get with that white devil. You know, and then your sister, you overshadow all of the brothers. We'll get with that damn white devil.
Right.
How do we continuously justify ourselves? It's basically like it's me looking at ourselves like what we just don't feel like we're good enough for each other. Well, you don't feel like you feel like the grass is green on the other side, and you know what you're literally doing, and for the most cases, is you are destroying an energy and you're creating more multiculturalism than anything else. Right. If that's what you choose to do, that's your business and everything. We're here to just talk about what the circumstances, the consequences of those things. You know, we talk about the Haitian Revolution. You know, we talk about a mixed breed of people that were put in place to maintain the same oppression as the white devils that lost the revolution. Right. You know, so it's none of us want to be controlled by anyone. You know, we all want to be free people. You know, we don't want to be controlled by no white person, no black person, no mulatto, no mixed person, no biracial, and but at the same time too, we see more of this than anything else. We see more of this black people stepping outside and basically just saying, I have a little money, I'm doing well for myself, I'm gonna get with this person, and I'm gonna do something outside of my community, outside of my culture, outside of what I've been there with me all my life, and then try to open up and get accepted by people who will never accept you. They'll be very nice to you and everything, and in some cases you may get some level of acceptance, but for the most part, it's a fairy tale, it's a dream. We talk about King, I Had a Dream, and we talk about Obama, nation of we're all one people and everything. When we're all one people and things are split even, then we can accept that. It's kind of like in South Africa. All us white South Africans and black South Africans, we're all one people and we're all a nation. You people need to worry about yourself, but let's solve our problem.
Like when they say that, and can you name one white person with a traditional South African name?
I don't know, they kind of creep the Afrikaners culture and everything.
I'm not talking about the Afrikaners, I'm talking about a traditional Khan.
Nah, I mean
the San people, or the Khoi, or Zulu name. Are there white people with those names? Or are there white people with traditional African names?
Well, no.
If we one people, like how many white people name their kids Nandi or Asada?
They're doing that over the generations. They've been doing that to where you have some these white children are being born in Africa to where they feel like they are entitled to this.
I never seen that though. I never seen a white child named with an African name.
Yeah, we usually don't meet them because we usually don't go to these schools that they go to, which are a lot of times international schools.
Right, but I was saying that to say that many times when you see the interracial relationships, especially here in America, you never see the Caucasian person, whether it be male or female, adopt the black culture. So it goes back to culture again. You always see the black person adopting the European or what's dominating American culture, because it all boils back to culture. How we think about our females, how we think about relationships are all operated within culture. That's the operating system on how we do things. So if we're not operating in our own culture, we're operating in someone else's mind. And most of us that don't really do much research or think, we always just fall for whatever's being fed to us as far as relationships go. And we don't stop to think that, well, this people is only feeding me this information for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Why is this person only telling me this about my own people? Why am I not even going outside of them to find out about myself and my history and how we deal with each other in relationship is always going through a European standard and a European frame of mind, and that's why we always run into trouble with each other. And then we seek outside of ourselves to find something that's comfortable to us. So it always starts within. So if you have the black male athlete that sees that white woman as his trophy prize, he's always going to have that dwelling in him. That's his idea example of a relationship. He don't even put color on it anymore. It's just a relationship, but the color is embedded in his mind that it has to be a white woman because this elevates me to this status. But he don't think about why is this elevating me to this status and what status is this elevating me to. Like we just stop in the middle because we stop at something that makes us feel good.
Yeah, and he's also, people are also looking at a materialistic imaginary thing that doesn't really exist, and we kind of link that with what we call an integration trap,
right? Because
now you're trying to link with what's green on the other side, of the fence, and then you realize that it's not. You realize that whatever you're dealing with, you're gonna have to work towards it, so if you magically think you just getting with a white person is gonna solve all your problems just because black people just have issues in relationship. All people have all kind of issues and things. The most important thing is people have to communicate and people have to connect to the point where you're clear about what you're connecting. So when we talk about these things, we're talking about nation building. We're talking about black people connecting with each other and building for the future to build a strong generation and a strong future, not just be hooking up just to be hooking up, to just be getting booty calls and one night stand. If you want to do what you need to do, you do what you need to do. But I'm talking about when we're trying to connect and build something, that's the purpose of what we're doing it for. There's other reasons why people connect, but that's ultimately what we're looking to build. We're not looking to build relationships by trying to just accept other people's culture and feel like, well, this is the best we can get in life by just being with white people or just living in a country dominated by white folks that they stole from the native people. We have to get back to where we believe in ourselves to feel like we can connect with each other and build a future. Like when we talk about building a family, only thing that we're talking about is black men and black women, nothing else. If you have something else going on and things like that, that's your business. But if for those of you, if you're looking to make a certain impact, we have to practice what we preach.
Right. And I just want to end it by saying, a lion and a lioness produce a lion cub. A lion and a hyena produces a hot mess, and that's just nature.
Absolute family. This is Bomani Tayemba and my brother Kofi Bruce dropping it to your folks. So family, keep it black, keep it strong. Remember, Africa for the Africans.
Africa for the Africans.
ORG. And my brothers and sisters, if you're looking for your black king, your black queen, and it's not working out in America because you've destroyed our family system, then revert and connect with us to the motherland.
Come.
Yes, yes, my sisters. Many of my brothers would love to link up with you for the nation building purpose. You know what I'm saying? And my brothers, many wonderful, fine sisters.
Many.
Finer than French wine.
Many.
Yes, that will blow your mind. Absolutely, family. It's all about nation building. Keep it strong.
Keep it strong.